have anything against them. I just think it's just kind of like a Naruto fan syndrome thing. They'll take this one line. They'll take, he's a prodigy at age 12. So that only means that when you turn 24, he is just like the greatest ninja of all time. Chat, Naruto or Dragon Ball, who is around it? You're just sick of their shit. You want to see someone hate. Gohan and Shisui. Y'all voted Shisui though. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your favorite thing to do on the internet. It's time for slander. And today, you guys want me to look up a Shisui hate video and talk about it. So let's see what that's about. Here we go. Shisui's the most overrated Naruto character. This is what we're looking for. Let's do it.
Shisui Uchiha is definitely a character that exists. But seriously, why is he so overhyped in the Naruto series? He's got to be the most overrated character in Naruto.
Okay, off rip. Most overrated character in Naruto. To be in those conversations, you have to simultaneously have a fandom that follows you blindly and ignorantly, while also having enough coolness to where it's not like you're trying to say a shit character is liked by a certain amount of people and therefore he's overrated. I think Shisui definitely fits that mold. So yeah, Shisui can be in the conversation. I'm not even gonna lie. Shisui can 100% be in the most overrated conversations, depending on the month, depending on the time of day. And this guy apparently thinks he just straight up is. So let's find out.
And there are plenty of overrated characters in Naruto. But
That's
Shisui is
true.
overrated to such a degree, both in strength and also as a character. So when people claim Shisui is extremely strong and that his Mangekyo is the most powerful Mangekyo out there, they come from that perspective which they say Kotoamatsukami is the most powerful genjutsu. Itachi even states that, so people tend to respect his opinion. But
Yeah, and that alone is kind of like what I'm getting at. So in order to get that blind fan base that follows you no matter what, you kind of have to have that random statement or that random potential. And Kotoamatsukami is that. It is the most annoying thing when debating about Shisui. Everybody just kind of spams, well, he wins this fight and that fight because of Kotoamatsukami. And it's just not exactly the case like 80% of the time. There's some certain points of time where, yeah, sure, if the opponent just sit there with its fucking hands twiddling and twiddling his thumbs, looking down at the ground like, Shisui, please don't beat me up. Yeah, sure, I guess that Kotoamatsukami fucking cooks him, but that's about it. And y'all are cooking this guy. What the hell does YouTuber do? What'd he do?
But the page says otherwise. Remember when Danzo put Mifune under Kotoamatsukami because Danzo wanted to become the leader of the Shinobi Alliance? Well, sure, you don't need eye contact, which is a very big thing, but Ao spotted Danzo's genjutsu very easily, and breaking Mifune out of it was the easiest thing in the world. They just had to tell Mifune, hey, you were under a genjutsu, man, Danzo's controlling you, and Mifune snapped out of it. Usually, in order to break genjutsu, you have to stop the chakra flow.
It's a little bit more complex than that, especially in like 1v1 versus battles and shit. But for example, the idea that it's impossible to break out of it, they kind of overblow that. I'll admit that. That's true.
The person by pumping a bit of your chakra into that system. But apparently with Kotoamatsukami, you just have to tell the other person that you're under a genjutsu.
I don't think it's that simple. I also don't think it's absurdly that simple. Like, I think Mifune is like a certain level of a shinobi ninja, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I'm confusing him and Hanzo. He's the ninja guy, right? Yeah, he's the ninja. But yeah, I don't think it's as simple as, hey, you're in a genjutsu, pal. That's it. Even I understand because that did happen, but I think it's a little bit more complex than that. But you get the idea.
Strike me as that powerful of a genjutsu, man. Of course, there's also the Kotoamatsukami instance when Itachi used the crow. He implanted Shisui's eye to release himself from the Edo Tensei, meaning that he could help the allied forces because he is commanded to defend the Leaf Village. Naturally, this was meant for Sasuke, but still it worked out in Itachi's favor anyway. And you can make the case that Itachi knew he was under Kotoamatsukami. He even told Naruto, hey, I used Kotoamatsukami Kotoamatsukami
Yeah,
on myself. I'm on your side now, don't worry about it. So maybe the two eyes work differently. I think Swag Kage mentioned this in one of his videos, that maybe Danzo's eye is a weaker version of Kotoamatsukami that can
Yeah, so that's the theory. Shout out to Swag, by the way. But yeah, that's the theory there, that like there's a short and long range one, a good eye versus a bad eye, shit like that. It gets kind of wonky, and that's kind of why I'm like, yeah, people overrate the fuck out of it.
be used more often. Danzo can use that Kotoamatsukami once per day, while Itachi's eye in the Crow was a much more powerful version that has a bigger cooldown. Itachi says it takes 10 years to recharge that without Hashirama cells, which is pretty insane, but I don't think that Shisui would take 10 years. It's much more likely that it would take 10 years because the eye didn't have a proper host and a powerful Uchiha using the jutsu.
Yeah, all this semantics and shit, but yeah, that's about it.
The eye itself would have to recharge without the chakra of a very powerful Uchiha. And then of course, if you hand Hashirama cells into the equation, they can boost everything. It's pretty obvious that this is the theme around the entire story because a billion characters get Hashirama cells and get a boost in their chakra. Now maybe Danzo having Hashirama cells also helps him having that cooldown reduced, but I
see this video is focusing heavy on Kotoamatsukami, and it's kind of fucked that like that's where majority of the Shisui overrated and the Shisui slander comes from. But that's pretty much kind of what it is, you know? Like a lot of the Shisui shit is built around this one jutsu. If Shisui didn't have this one jutsu, he would be far less annoying of a character in fandom. I'm not gonna lie. So it seems like he's yapping. My chat has been like fucking cock-eyeing on this guy the entire time. Mind you, he hasn't said anything in particular this video. Maybe he has a history or some shit. I don't know. Chat's chat. We know that. But yo, I think it's kind of fucking crazy that like he's dedicated the first 3 minutes of Shisui being overrated, dedicated to a specific jutsu he has. And that's just because it really is backpacked by this jutsu. I don't know if the editors cut out a certain part of it because it can be perceived as yap. I don't know if you guys are like locked in or whatever, if you're like, all right, bro, we get it. But like, that's why he's doing it. I'm not even necessarily mad he's doing it because that's really what it is. There's some other shit like the green Susanoo and how fast is he and other shit. We can get into that. But the main reason niggas be sicing him up to a degree, whether it's fair or not, it's up to you. But the main reason he gets played up is because of the one singular jutsu he has. And it's kind of crazy.
10 years to
Sage, he's the guy that made the dumbass video. Okay, I don't care enough, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm already 3 minutes into it. I do not care enough. I'm sorry if he's kicked you in the balls with a bad Naruto take, bro. I genuinely do not care. I'm not gonna lie. If he says something stupid in this video, then I'll acknowledge the stupid shit he says in this video. But I do not care about what he said in other videos.
10 years to 1 day is too big of a jump, even for Hashirama cells to achieve. Maybe Danzo's version without Hashirama cells would take him like a month to recharge, but like 10 years to a day, that's way too much, man.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So if we're going to talk about just this jutsu, furthermore, my personal belief on it, it's kind of wonky for me. My Naruto knowledge is sometimes very spotty because I don't like rewatch it again and again and again like I have to do Dragon Ball. And I'm obviously binging One Piece. I'm binging Solo. So pardon me if right now Naruto deep cut knowledge isn't in my facilities, big man. But with the 10-year respawn time of the jutsu, it kind of is one of them things where like I had to gas up Shisui. I wouldn't say he wins this fight and that fight and this fight with a jutsu that requires 10-year prep time. So you're telling me you would have to go about these verses genuinely with perfect conditions for Shisui off rip, which kind of implies to me that he's not that strong of a character, low key. Like off rip, if you let's say you're Shisui stan and you're like, fuck it, he beats Madara with the Kotoamatsukami. So you're telling me that you have to go about it in a way where every condition is set, and it could be a singular condition that's crazy, which is, hey gang, he's had this charged up jutsu for 10 years? That's crazy. That's kind of a crazy hill to die on and scream, that's my goat. You feel me?
And also Danzo's eye seemed to be much weaker anyway, even with the Hashirama cells. Or maybe Kishimoto just didn't think about it properly and how to handle Kotoamatsukami, because let's be real, it's not a jutsu very easy to write for. Something that can control another person and the other person isn't even aware of it. She's just doing those things thinking it's her own will, but it's a genjutsu all along. I suppose you can argue that the power of this jutsu is counterbalanced by how easy you can break someone out of it just by telling them, but still, in Itachi's case, that didn't work, obviously. Kabuto wanted to reinsert one of those kunais into Itachi's head to control him again with the Edo Tensei, so there was a way to assert dominance over Itachi's Edo Tensei.
Yeah, it's also not this omnipotent, uncounterable thing. We get
that extra step of putting that tag into Itachi again. So Kotoamatsukami is way too overhyped. Shisui also has the teleportation thing.
All right, here we go. This other shit.
User of the body flicker.
So this, I'm gonna sound like I'm piling in on the hate, and I'm not. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do that for me, and I'll agree or disagree with what he says. But this is the definition of a video game was too cool. I'm not gonna lie. Once he started teleporting in the game, I was like, oh shit. Now niggas think he's fucking Minato. I kind of knew the second he was teleporting like that in the game, because I fucked with him in the game. I used to be a hell of a Shisui main. But just because I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get dragged.
Used to fight in battlefields with it, while most ninjas only use it to retreat or just travel to somewhere else. Shisui had such control over it.
Wait, he's the only ninja that said teleportation should be used offensively?
Made him pretty powerful.
Pretty fucking stupid.
Now, I'm not saying Shisui was absolute fodder, because that's not the case. He used to fight alongside Itachi, and he was certainly fast, I'm not denying that, but if we've never seen him fighting in canon, it's not good to make that type of assumption that he is extremely powerful. I mean, if he was that powerful, Danzo wouldn't have gotten his eye and essentially forced him to commit self-unaliving in that.
Shisui stands. How do you explain this nigga getting cooked by Danzo? Because you put him in conversations. Look, I understand some people will say, so you're talking about that extreme guy about the guy that beats Madara. That's fine. And, you know, the same person would then try to argue Naruto and Sasuke, which you really couldn't argue Naruto. He has no Naruto. Anyway, so, you know, there's several characters, like, okay, he has no business being in. But then it's that next tier where most Shisui stands do put him in. You know, they do put him in the Itachi ones. They do put him in the shit, man. I mean, how does guy hit him? He doesn't know what to do. He Kotoamatsukami'd. All that other stuff. You feel me? Like, he puts him in that, like, tier 2 of the Naruto verse ones. And if you argue guys tier 1 before you guys type it up, I'm just naming names, you piece of shit. But Shisui stands. How do you defend Danzo? Like, not blitzing him entirely, because I guess Anbu were there in on it, but I know a lot of niggas that's not getting caught like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. For all the niggas people compare Shisui to, I know a lot of niggas in that spot ain't losing no arm, leg, or eye. It's not happening. That's kind of tough, bro. Danzo had every advantage. Yeah, he wasn't poisoned yet, though. He got poisoned after. That shit crazy. He got cooked by Shino's cousin. That's tough.
That OVA, which isn't canon, he doesn't.
Danzo didn't even Sharingan. Yeah, this is like base Danzo. Nah, y'all wrong, bro. Let me stop.
Unaliving
Let me stop.
In that OVA.
Guys, let me double check. Was he poisoned prior to? Let's see. Cause you niggas lie. I'm not gonna lie, chat. Oh yeah, it was before. I trust this Reddit guy. I trust this Reddit guy before you all. It's still kind of sad, but he was poisoned. He was poisoned. Now, boom. Poisoned Shisui got his eye took. Again, what is the conversation that Shisui stands? Put it this way. Who is the strongest nigga Shisui you think could beat in the fight? You could give him the Kodo whatever. Who is the strongest nigga you think Shisui beats in a fight? Danzo, Lee. You talking about currently? Madara, Sakura, Zabuza, Lee, Orochimaru. Tachi. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of Lee, Sakura, Naruto. Okay, some niggas are trolling, but I've seen a lot of Lee, Orochimaru and Sakura. I'm gonna just be honest. And I know it's not the same principle. If you like poison Rock Lee, you try to jump him. I think Lee kicks his ass. I think Lee just kicks his ass. I think this nigga Lee coughing up blood just kicks Danzo's ass. Shit, you take what's it called? Who else? Y'all said Itachi. I mean, that one, I understand why Shisui stands do it because, you know, people compare him to Itachi as a tot. But, yeah, I've seen sick Itachi box. I've seen Itachi cough up blood and box. He ain't getting his eye took. Seen someone say Kasame. Maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I'm not. Kisame wins that too. Hey, nigga. The nigga said Orochimaru. You can't kill Orochimaru. You can't even poison. You can't even poison Orochimaru. What are we talking about? What makes you think Orochimaru can touch Shisui? What the fuck is wrong with me? Why do I think one of the 3 legendary Sannin, arguably one of the stronger ones, if not the stronger one, to the point where Itachi, granted in part 1, saw Jiraiya and said, oh shit, he's a Sannin, let's move. And then Jiraiya and Tsunade had a very much of a stalemating fight against Orochimaru without his fucking arm. So, you know, how the Prime Shisui, oh yeah, here we go. There they go. Okay, look at you now. Now we have Shisui stronger than Itachi's coming through. Now we got, and this is what Naruto fans love to do. Now we got Prime Shisui. Naruto fans love to do 2 things. They love to mention the word prime, any character plus prime, and then not only that, we're just saying shit now. Okay.
Which isn't canon.
Understood.
Doesn't look very good. I mean,
we'll look all of these things up.
Members, and apparently
this is the video for this.
Sano, but in the filler episode, he
we'll
fights against
look
Danzo.
At this.
He's
as a teen, Itachi put that nigga in a genjutsu.
Absolutely destroyed by Danzo without his Sharingans. So he didn't really have his arm of Sharingans, he only had one. He uses Izanagi and beats Kotoamatsukami with it. Now, of course, Izanagi is an extremely powerful jutsu that rewrites reality and sacrifices an eye for it, but Shisui was really badly destroyed by Danzo with that filler. And then there's also the novel, which I believe he was caught off guard and poisoned.
Type shit.
Still, it looks bad for him. What kind of shinobi gets poisoned? Apparently Shisui does. And people are gonna say that the novels...
Now that's it. Now that's it. Now that's it. What kind of shinobi gets poisoned? What? Nigga, Shino paralyzes like 90% of the niggas he fights. What the fuck? Naruto. In fact, Naruto got poisoned. What are we doing? You know what? While we're on the subject, before we hop back to the video, let's do it. Itachi versus Shisui. Did nobody ever do Itachi versus Shisui? We got Minato. The issue is Minato is stronger than Itachi on well, no. People compare Minato. So you know what? We can do some reverse scaling here. People compare Minato and Itachi all the fucking time. And if Minato is compared, wait, I think Minato stomps, by the way. But yeah, if Minato is compared to Itachi, who the fuck, hold on. Let me skip through here. Speed running this, hold on.
Secondary effects of this poison is
don't care.
To construct.
Don't care.
Definitely like pre-Sharingan Danzo.
That's a collab.
Should not be at Hiruzen's level, so Shisui shouldn't be losing to someone of that tier.
Oh shit, well. So then skip to a random part. And the nigga said, yeah, I don't know how he lost to Danzo. That's crazy. That is crazy.
If you want to go this route, you have to assume then that Shisui is above Danzo, which again, like we said, for the purposes of this video is fine. Danzo actually says this himself, that Itachi and Shisui are just like the best, strongest members of the Uchiha clan.
So
side note, so this is my issue with the people that were talking like primes and shit, right? I don't know how to tell you. I don't think this is prime Itachi. And then the next one, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't think this is prime Itachi. I think there is a very much... I think Itachi's prime is probably the annoying one because it's the one that we don't know. Because there's a point in time before he gets sick, but like way after this. You know, I don't think we know what Prime Itachi is. So everybody's saying, or it's not everybody, it's a loud minority. But the people that are like, oh yeah, he's stronger than Prime Itachi, I think you're just like making up shit because we don't see that. Edo Itachi, exactly. Like the most we could do is Edo Itachi. And I'm gonna just be blunt. If that's who you think Shisui scales to, hey, and that's what I'm saying. If you think Edo Itachi and Shisui are even remotely, there's a fair argument. So you think Shisui scales to Nagato as well? Because that you would have to assume that. Wow. I mean, this is wow. Okay.
Context behind it as well is that they're saying that if they win Shisui and Itachi over, like in this supposedly upcoming war with the Uchiha clan, that they'll just win the war because they'll have the two strongest Uchiha on their side.
It's up to you whether or not you agree with the implication.
This guy. Wish we saw more of this guy.
That Fugaku was maybe fit to be Hokage, definitely at least Kage level. Knowing that, it's fair to reason then that maybe it actually does make sense if Shisui is stronger than him, that he would be fast enough to do what they were going to need him to do for this plan, where they were going to have him capture Hiruzen.
And we're just talking about like in terms of a combatant, right? Obviously, because like nothing implies, at least from what we've mentioned, that Shisui should be able to like punch Hiruzen in his stomach and like knock him out or something like that. Yeah, but he's definitely got the speed to be up there, and then he's just like an Uchiha with crazy genjutsu.
Yeah, that's all we have. We just have he's really fast, and he has like genjutsu prowess. But like that's kind of what I'm like getting at or whatever. That one, we get faster shinobi, just straight up do, who also have genjutsu resistance, and it's kind of just like what the f does he do now? It's kind of just unfortunate that it's like, well, what do you do now? It's like he has the worst hacks to go against high tiers. That's kind of like what's fucked about Shisui. He has like the worst hacks against the high tiers because you have to say, okay, he's just gonna fucking point at Naruto and knock him out. Well, no, he's not. You gotta say he's gonna point at Sasuke. Well, no, he's not. He's just gonna point at Itachi. No, he's not. He can have a stronger jutsu than Itachi, but him and Itachi as genjutsu specialists, I would like to think are on the same tier, if any fucking thing. And then Itachi is just shown to have, you know, much deadlier arsenals of putting him down and vice versa. It's just like, and I'm kind of sympathizing for it. And that's what I think is going on in my chat. It's a lot of sympathy. So therefore now there's a mass. It's kind of like the pendulum thing that I talked about. I told you I believe in the pendulum theory. And that now after like 10 minutes, 20 minutes of hate, now there's like a massive overration in the chat, right? Like now we have people debating could Shisui beat Minato? Hence this video, I'm assuming. Could Shisui beat Prime Itachi? One nigga said Naruto. Like it went from trolling to oh shit. Now niggas are dead ass coming out the woodwork saying this shit. So it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. I just think that like he doesn't have the skill set, like literally the facilities to take on the tiers that a lot of Shisui stands would want him to take on.
So like overall, he should just be like around that tier, like upper Sani, something like that.
Itachi, throughout both of the novels, he thinks that Shisui is better than him. Looks up to him.
There's definitely a point in time where
this is also implied in the game, pretty much right before Shisui dies. The narrative does seem to imply that Shisui is like around like this level of power. It's fairly nebulous, but I feel like understanding this, if I assume that Shisui is actually this strong based on all these things, I have a pretty good idea of who he could and couldn't beat.
And it's not Minato.
Yeah,
oh shit.
Exactly.
So the main reason why is like we just discussed, Shisui's like upper Sani, like around that tier, right? And then we get to
I can see that. Yeah, the guy, that's what I'm saying. The guy that said that he doesn't fuck with Orochimaru or whatever, I'm like, yo, what do you mean? Even if I was wrong, Orochimaru and Shisui, that's like around the ballpark.
Right. And Jiraiya, when he's talking to
that's the
Tsunade, this is
ballpark
like
right there.
during the search for Tsunade arc, is like the first time they find Tsunade. He's telling Tsunade that basically it's like a whole double spread of Jiraiya just jerking off Minato. He's literally like, yeah, Minato's capacity as shinobi is just unmatched. Everybody compels in comparison to Minato, just jerking him off. So it's like Jiraiya, who in base is like around Orochimaru and Hiruzen's level, he's got Sage mode, and on top of that, he still just pales in comparison to Minato. So right there, that's just blatant like ABC. Minato is way stronger than someone like Shisui.
Minato,
I mean, there are a whole lot of other ways that you can illustrate.
Did he just say jerking him off? I don't know. Why did he say that? He said it twice. I never heard him say it. 10-10 with the... All right, see, now y'all wilding. Come on.
Straight this too, right? Like, if you want to assume that Jiraiya is just like biased or whatever, he doesn't actually know what he's talking about. Most people, I think, agree that Sage Naruto was stronger than Sage Jiraiya, and Pain was stronger than Sage Naruto was.
Duh.
When Naruto starts talking to
we can skip some of this.
By the way, mind you, Minato, like, what he did to Obito is
hold on, let's see. I need more Shisui talk.
Nine tails from his control, right? It's like really bad. So even if Shisui is like at or somewhat above Hiruzen in terms of strength, like, there are so many more pegs on this totem pole that are all above him that it's like...
Yeah, it's literally just saying like Minato has a much higher quality of scaling over Hiruzen.
Yeah, we don't need to. So they're going to focus more on the matchup, which makes sense. I'm trying to get them to kind of talk about certain shit that Shisui could or couldn't do against other opponents. We're not necessarily getting that. So I'm going to try to skip through because there's only 6 more minutes of the video. Hold on. I'm going to hunt chat. I'll be a hunter.
With Shisui, you have to be like, well... I guess it would make sense because of these other things. But this idea that he's like Hiruzen level is like only supported by all the things that I've mentioned so far, if you kind of agree with the position to begin with, you know?
Yeah, or maybe like Shisui was gonna run into Hiruzen's house while like obviously Hiruzen's off guard, and maybe like genjutsu him, knock him out, and take him out the manor or something like that. There's a tons of ways to interpret that to not mean Shisui scales over Hiruzen. Just like the best way is what we were giving him. That's all.
The best thing that Shisui has going for him in this matchup is Kotoamatsukami.
Yeah, we already know
reasonable to assume he'd have to at least know where the person is.
Yep.
So if we take the game thing, right, like with Danzo. Like Shisui fought Danzo.
Trying to see if we can get any other lore. I don't think we're gonna get the lore in this video. All right, let's see something else. Let's go to Google then. Fuck it. Fuck YouTube. Who wins Shisui or Itachi? Let's get Google arguments. A lot of people, especially in the war. yo, this nigga's a dick. Hold on, bro. This nigga said a lot of people, especially. Yo, that nigga's a dick. Okay. See, this the shit, bruh. Shisui or Obito, my nigga. Let's just finish this fucking video. I've lost interest. I've lost interest. I have now lost interest.
No, they're just power fantasies for the titular characters, and
I have now lost interest.
Characters in the verse. I mean, the picosecond feat comes from a novel. Itachi has the picosecond feat. But anyway, let's talk about Shisui as a character now. And I don't really understand why people like him so much. I don't have anything against Shisui. And
yeah, all of that being said, I don't have anything against him. I just think it's just kind of like a Naruto fan syndrome thing. Granted, anime fan syndrome, but like it's amped up in Naruto to where what Naruto fans will do, they'll take this one line. Right? Like, hell, I'll use Itachi as an example because it's going to seem like I'm glazing Itachi this video. So, boom. This is where I think Itachi can get overrated sometimes. They'll take, he's a prodigy at age 12. So that only means that when you turn 24, that like he is just like the greatest ninja of all time. And it's just like, no, I don't think that's what that means. let's critically think for 5 fucking seconds. Let's interpret the show a little bit more. Like with Shisui, for example, people take the Kotoamatsukami sentences and people take the what's it called? Oh yeah, him and Itachi used to be cool back in the day or whatever. And they just act like, okay, well, Prime Shisui, even if he was stronger than Itachi at the point in time, which probably is just straight up true. You know, Itachi just never got stronger a day in his life. Then he got sick. So we're looking at Prime Itachi from that point on all the way to where he dies. Edo Itachi is too broken, even though he's clearly a faster shinobi. So that would imply that, you know, never mind. So this is what I'm saying. Like that right there, I can't even continue the bit without having a satire joke, because that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like it's just a lot of dishonesty to put your favorite character forward that happens in the Naruto universe. And I'm looking at 2 characters that it happens for, by the way. It happens to both of these guys. For anybody that thinks I'm an Itachi glazer in any way, shape, or form, oh, trust me. The Itachi video's probably next. Because that nigga is literally in the pendulum. But yeah, I think that's just what the issue with Shisui is for a lot of times, whether we're talking about his power or just coolness, which I hope he talked about, but he didn't really talk about it too much. But like watching the show, they make him less cool than they did in the games.
You like, but just tell me why. He appears in a couple of flashbacks, and he doesn't really appear for real.
Minato is
the
too.
Manga.
See, the issue with Minato is he was, and then he got the novel that kind of like, oh shit, well, like what is overrating Minato? You know, like saying he beats Kaguya. Like you can only overrate Minato by like 5 characters. That's the difference, I think. Shisui, I think you can very much argue you're underrating or overrating him depending on who you say. Minato is in that tier. It's kind of like overrating Naruto in a way. Like obviously Naruto's stronger, but it's like how much more names do you say Naruto beats before you're like, okay, you're lying. You feel me? Solo's moderate, like, yeah, I guess, yeah, that guy overrated Minato because you think he could beat Madara, sure. But like after Madara, it's Kaguya. Then Naruto, then Sasuke. Then after that, like you know what I'm saying? It's like 5 names that you could say, oh yeah, you're overrating him on. You know what I mean?
Page for, I don't know, until chapter 500 when Itachi is talking about
it's like 5, 10 tops, and Jubito is where you get all technical and shit. Like now you're naming specific versions and variants and other things.
Shisui never really appears on screen at that point. And then the only time he gets dialogue is in Itachi's flashback where Shisui is giving him his eye. Oh yeah, it's a very noble thing.
Oh, I see the approach he's going. Okay, so now he's talking about how do you guys even like the guy? He barely there. You know what? Y'all gonna point knives at the nigga? That's sneakily a good point. He doesn't have a lot of screen time. that's unironically a good point. I can't even lie. That's genuinely a good point. Even though like you can find someone cool and be interested in someone in a short amount of time, but like he really is barely there. He doesn't have that many. Like how many episodes is Shisui in? How many episodes is Shisui in? I never even thought of that. Her appearance in 357. He's supporting role in 452, 452, 454, and 455. Yeah, that's 5 episodes. Damn. Yeah, that's all this love for a 5-episode character. Maybe that's why it's so vague too. It's mainly the novels. Here's the thing. You're saying that. I don't believe you niggas read the novels. I'm just gonna go there. I think you niggas played Storm and watched the series. I believe that you niggas watched the filler. I do not believe that of the 500 people in chat, shout out the 500, that all the Shisui stands in there, I believe 5 of you read them novels. I believe 5 tops read the novels.
For Itachi and the Leaf Village, because he's on the side of the Leaf
and
Village.
I'm dying on that.
The coup to happen, and that's everything he does.
And I'm dying on that.
Much more than that. He's Itachi's friend. I mean, it's implied that he is in the story. Everyone says they were best
now,
friends.
Now, the manga niggas read the manga, but I believe that.
And I don't care about the filler episodes. I don't really care about that at all. In the manga, Shisui barely ever appears.
Yeah, he's barely there.
He's literally a plot device character. That's his only reason for existing in the story. His jutsu, Kotoamatsukami, is a sheer humongous plot device, and that's why Shisui exists. Now, the first time he is a plot device is when he is used to awaken Itachi's Mangekyo. In the first flashback we get about him, we believe that Itachi killed him to awaken the Mangekyo. Of course, we find out later on that that wasn't the case. Itachi only watched him die, and that was enough to awaken his Mangekyo. And then Shisui leaves 2 of his eyes behind, one with Danzo, which is used as a plot device to attempt to control Mifune in the 5 Kage Summit, and fails. That was really the only use we saw for Danzo's Izanagi, which was just not a lot of stuff.
Oh, shit. Y'all look at the screen? I understand sometimes in these videos we just listening to the nigga, and sometimes you'll watch these videos while you driving and shit. But did you see the 3-piece? This nigga, damn.
Which is
look at this shit.
That was really the only use we saw for Danzo's Izanagi, which was just not a lot of stuff.
Damn.
One usage, and that was it. Kind of pointless, to be honest. They didn't even have to do all that legwork to make Danzo control Mifune in the 5 Kage Summit if it was going to amount to nothing anyway. Danzo could have easily used another type of jutsu, and Ao could have caught him just fine.
Now he's saying that shit didn't even matter for real. Look, we don't need to finish the rest of this video. Respect to the creator. We don't need to finish the rest of this video. But I do want to add this part specifically just to see something, because I know he did this. This is according to your glorious king of power scaling, Sweat Kage here. Let's get answers without any disputes. Let's see if we can spot the Shisui. So we have Naruto, all that other shit, a bunch of Bort niggas. Anytime I see an Ishiki or whatever, there's a bunch of Bort niggas. No Shisui, no Shisui, no Shisui, no Shisui, no Shisui. Where's Shisui? Uh-oh. Elite Jonin level. He's got to be above Jonin level, right? So that's the 10 tails. Obviously, he's not 10 tails tier. Obviously, he's not God tier. Again, chat being chat will have you believe
anything you think.
KCM, yep, I believe. Oh, there's Orochimaru above your glorious Shisui. Now, I think he should be around High Kage, in my opinion. But I don't see him in Peak Kage. No shot he's unranked. No shot. Ladies and gentlemen, comment below where you put Lord Shisui on there, man. But I would say he's somewhere in High Kage tier. I think that's beyond more than fair for him. I think once you start telling me that Shisui can beat Tobirama, we have a f***ing problem. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, take care and stay blessed. Bye.